Right, we're live. So, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's build a personal blog. So I'm hoping to crack through this as quickly as possible. Going to be a really simple setup. I'm not going to use any out-of-the-box solutions like static site generators or anything like that. Jekyll, Hugo, I know are used for blogging platforms. I'm just going to do something really simple and hand-rolled. So I'm going to start by just setting up a test repository and seeing if I can get that deployed to GitHub and visible. So let's commence with that. So first thing I'm going to do is get my terminal up. I'm going to make a new directory and we're going to call it personal blog. Shall I call it personal blog? I don't even know what I'm going to call this blog yet. Well, for now it'll be Nick Morley's blog. Let's just call the repository personal blog. So, like I said, I'm going to have a very simple HTML CSS setup. I'm actually going to use some JavaScript though, because I'm gonna have a system where I can write posts, save them as Markdown files, keep them in a directory within the repository, and then I'm going to use some basic JavaScript to handle loading those in, and maybe later on things like filtering and search or whatever I find useful. So I'm going to use a system that I'm very familiar with, and that's Vue.js to scaffold my project. So the command I'm going to run should be available to me in my history because I've done it very recently. So in fact, I'm going to remove that directory I just created because that's going to be created for me once I run this feat scaffolding command. So I'm going to call it personal blog, and this should create a directory called personal blog with a scaffold for basically just running a compiler for JavaScript and hosting my assets in the right folder and all of that business. So, and we're going to use TypeScript because I am of that persuasion. Okay, so now I can go into personal blog, I can run npm install, and we should have that running soon. In the meantime, I'm going to open this up in my VS Code, so I get personal blog. We're here, and this has all the example stuff in here. So this is installed. I can now run npm run dev, and I should have an example page here. Yep. So I'm going to just change this a bit, and then I'm going to try to upload it and host it on GitHub pages. So, and then we'll get to actually making a basic design and making the post rendering system. So this is a bit of a routine of getting rid of some of these example assets. Alright, this is going to be, for now, Nick Morley's blog. I'm not going to do anything fancy with the name. I might do, but get rid of that icon, and just gonna say, yeah, I'm using GitHub Copilot, so you see my GitHub Copilot suggested this, and we'll go with that for now. So again, I can get rid of all of this, don't need any of this JavaScript for now, so good, this is it. So essentially, this is our test page. Right, so now I'm going to do something for personal preference here. I actually like running npm start rather than npm run dev, so I'll just change that. And now I'm going to run the build, and this should give me in the dist folder the compiled and pre-processed assets which are going to be used by the server that I host it on to actually show that final product. So I now have that. Now, so let's create the GitHub repository. So I go to GitHub and I'm going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it personal blog. Private. Funny, personal blog is available as a public. Maybe that's just for cycle. Alright, let's have it private for now. And I don't want to initialize it with anything, so I think that's all good. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. Oh, so I need to first of all run git init. This is now a Git repository. I can add the remote pointing to this GitHub repository I've just created, and what branch are we on by default? Doesn't say. I should list the branches. That's interesting. Not seen this before. If I do branch, let's just see. I'm gonna commit everything. First commit, publish branch, and let's see what happens. That's on master. So let's see. That should. That's there. One annoying difference between GitHub and GitLab, if you use both, is that GitHub has the default branch as master and GitLab has the default branch as main, and you always end up confusing them and having to merge one into the other if you create a master when you should have a main and so on. But good. Right, so now comes the part which I haven't done before. It's this GitHub pages type stuff. So I'm going to go on to get this actions tab, and let's see. I'm thinking this is a place to start. Suggested. Yeah, this is interesting. All of this. This DevOps CI/CD side of things is not something I've done much of, but would like to. This looks like something that's relevant. Static HTML, deploy static files in a repository without a build. I do want to build. So let's see, what about, Vite, GitHub, pages. This looks like the thing for me. So I've done all that. I'm going to add a base URL to my vite.config.js. So I'm going to skim through this before I do any of the tasks so I can see where we're going. Okay. Yeah, need to do that. Is that it? Wow. Let's see, so you create a branch called GH pages. Wow. That is super simple. Alright, so go to my v.config.js, which does not exist. So we're just using default config at the moment. Looks like I can import define config from Vite, and I'm going to export default define config. So what's my base URL? Let's just call it blog and see what happens. Not sure that I need anything else yet. I'm using TypeScript. Does that mean I'm going to need some kind of plugin? Let's just look at the config documentation for Vite. Base public path when served in development or production. I'm not even sure if I need this. We'll keep it as is for now. Plugins, array of plugins to use. See the plugin API. So, got plugins for all the frameworks. This shouldn't have to do anything for TypeScript, because that's the build is going to take care of transpiling that all to vanilla JavaScript, so I just was interested in what plugins we might do there, but that's not going to be necessary. So back to these instructions. So let's say I've got this, and now I'm going to run the build again. And I need to let's add that, and I also need to add the dist folder to Git. It's currently being ignored, I suppose, so if I look in the Git ignore, yeah, dist is ignored, so let's add that and add all those. Let's say add dist, push it. Let's go back to our instructions. Yeah, I've added the dist. Yeah, it's interesting. See here, they haven't removed it from the git ignore. They've just force added it. Well, I can always do that in the future if I see a reason to. So I've added that, and now it's simply pushing to a new branch called GH pages. So that's done. And now apparently I can go to my repository Now it says scroll down and go to pages. instructions. Go to settings. Pages. Upgrade to make this repository public to enable pages. Yeah, fine, I don't mind this being public. Oh, I'm gonna pay, am I? I'll be moving to GitLab immediately, if that's the case. Upgrade your account. Why would I need to do this? Now I see. Okay, I'm gonna make this this repository public. Change to public. Confirm this. One 33077. Okay, so now that's done. Okay, now I can deploy from branch. Ultimately, I want to dig more into the GitHub Actions because I want that to run my build and just see how that pipeline works. But maybe we'll get to that after this. So make a commit to the GitHub Pages branch, which I've done. So where's the URL? Surprised that it doesn't seem to say what the URL system is. Okay. Okay, so if I go to cycle.github.io, what happens? Okay, what about now blog? Okay, nothing. There'll be a link to your website, it says in the... So, deploy from branch. Ah. Here we go. Custom domain. Okay, I might do that later. There's no link to my website, but I mean this is a URL. Nothing yet. What am I missing here? Yes. That's all good. So it's being built from my GitHub Pages root. So let's see. Yeah, and that's right, because this is the index HTML, and we should be seeing this. As I understand it. So. It looks like it just took time. Okay. Well, good. It doesn't have the CSS that I had with it. So I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's fix that first. But this is great. We're live. So in the build, we have no CSS. No, we do have CSS. This looks like, yeah, this is, I'm surprised that the styling isn't there. Let's see. That's because it's failing to find that CSS file with just seeing the HTML file. Okay, so this is going to be a configuration thing where the I see what's happened here, I think. So in the v-config, this now needs to be personal blog. That's my hypothesis. So now I can rerun the build, push to GitHub pages. Oh no, I'll need to alter base URL. Okay. Now we've learned that it may take a moment to update. This error looks different from before. Do I need to trigger any updates in here? So if I just refresh. I'm going to give this some time to update because yeah, I can tell that this, I'm pretty sure my fix will fix it because it was looking for these assets at cycle.github.io/blog rather than personal blog. So I should be able to find, if I grab this address, if I change this to personal blog, yeah, that's working. So when this updates, here we go. We've got it. That is the styling we wanted. Right. So that's it. That's the deployment. Now I'm going to plug in my laptop. Right. So what's next then? I'm thinking we've done this. However, I could take this opportunity to try out this running the build in GitHub Actions, which I have some curiosity about, so I'm just going to allow myself to indulge for a moment in that. So I go to Actions. Oh, this is cool. Pages. build and deployment. So can I mess with these workflows? So this is the build step. Not sure what all this build Jekyll is about. I simply want to add npm run build to the task list. Let's see, and I want to then update GitHub Pages branch from the built artifact from the master branch. So GitHub Pages actions. npm run build. Let's see. See, so you can write it in a, this is going to be something like github.githubci.yaml or something, isn't it? You can include the action in your workflow to trigger on any event the GitHub Actions supports. What I should really do is just read the GitHub Actions documentation. So let's have a brief look at this for interest's sake. We have a workflow that's triggered on an event. Workflow is configurable by a YAML file defined in .github/workflows. So events, jobs, actions, runners. Let's have this example workflow then. Okay, so we've got the name of the run, the event, where that's going to happen, after. I guess this is an arbitrary name if you're choosing for the job. Yeah, so I want to have a build job which runs on a Linux server, Ubuntu latest. Steps, uses, I think this is any artifact in the repository, so I don't need to have that. I think I can just, oh actually no, yes, you need to like set up node, I see. You set up node and then you can run, in my case npm run build, and that's going to create the dist folder, and then I want maybe another action to push that artifact to the GitHub Pages branch. And then maybe there's even more to do then to trigger a rebuild of the GitHub Pages. So I might just try this. I'm going to try this for fun. So create a folder, .github, is that it? .github/workflows. Workflows, and then we're going to create a file in there called call it build.yaml, and so we're going to call it build with npm on push. Job is going to be called npm build. I think this is all good, and then it's npm run build. This is what I'm thinking it should be. Okay, so that's there. Now I commit them. Let's go. So add build workflow. So now I don't need dist to be pushed to my main branch, so let's remove that again from the Git tracking. And now, if that's all correct, then I should be able to see my workflows. Here we go. And it's in progress. And it's failed. So, should be able to see some kind of log here. Okay, so set up job, download action repository. Don't know what checkout is, but I'm assuming that's just part of setting up Node. So, or maybe it's the Git checkout. Okay. So, I suppose Node is set up correctly, and now it's failing on this step. npm run build. Node modules is missing. Okay, yes. Do need to run npm install there. Run npm install. So, should see another edit build. That's interesting. What's this error about? A step cannot have both the uses and run keys. Ah, if this is a syntax error, this needs to be a part of the list item there. There's going to be lots of committing and pushing in order to debug this. Got some great action in the chat. Yeah. Commitment. Oh wow, look at this, it's passed. That's exciting. So, question is what to do next. The build has run, but now how do we, can I simply, this next command that I've been running, this git subtree push, can I just whack that in the workflow? Looks like questions to the internet. Actually, I'm going to peruse the documentation a touch more here before I get too ahead of myself. So that all took me from 0 to blast off. Pretty happy with that. It's great to have you, Dennis. You're a distraction, but a welcome one. So, hope your day's going well. So what am I going to do after this? Next steps, automating builds and tests. Well, ultimately I'm going to just search directly for this, aren't I? So, GitHub Actions, push to GitHub Pages. I wonder. Well, I'm going to leave that DevOps stuff behind for a moment and just focus on the design of my blog here. So, I don't have too much of a design in mind. I just want something super simple. I'm going to have maybe a little top bar with my picture, my photo in a circle, maybe Nick Morley's blog, and then it's just going to be posts and more posts. So I could do some brief research to find some nice design inspiration, but I've kind of got something in mind, so let's just try and hack it together. I'm gonna just bring some default styles into the project that I quite like. This library wing, just a CSS file that I can drop in, and looks better than the default styles, of course. So let's start with that, and I'll override things as I need to. So I'll be running on localhost. Let's see. No, so npm start. Now we're back into familiar territory. Start hacking on my local environment. So, first thing I'm going to do is this header then. So, let's create the basic HTML for that. So we've got div ID app, and I'm going to do a div called top nav. And in that we're going to have something for, in fact the Wing CSS comes with a class to help with this, nav, I believe. So if I just go to the documentation for that, look at the nav, yeah, div with the class nav, and then you just put your items in it. Yeah, this is essentially what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this exact thing, but I'm going to put my picture where that logo would be. So let's just see that this works. Right, I need these at the top, so this is part of the default CSS that came with Vite. So I could probably just get rid of all of that for now, because I've got the Wing CSS. So yeah, let's have this. And index. So this is going to be an image. So let's say class. I'm going to call it my nav photo. Okay, so now I'm going to actually get my photo, have it ready here. So let's grab this, take it to my repository that I'm working in, and it will go in public. So now let's just see if I actually have access to that, if I can render that. So I believe it should just be the root and then me.jpg. There we go. So now we're going to make it the right size, and I want it to be a circle as well. So here's where I'm going to go into my CSS file, and let's say, so my image, let's have the ID as nav photo. So my nav photo circular. So we've got a basic suggestion from GitHub Copilot here, and let's see what happens. So nav image ID nav photo. Maybe I should put that on the containing div. Nothing's changing yet. Nav photo. Ah, I'm not importing my style sheet. There we go. Let's try putting it back, that class now back on the image. There we go. That's what I want. I could do with it being a bit lower down, but actually that is just fine for now. Now these nav items, am I really going to... I will just want a home link. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what now? I could have a little bar, different colour, going across the top. Let me see, is that already long width? Yeah. So what happens if I make that top nav? I'm looking for a grey, I'm envisaging a dark grey background. That's too much. That's more like what I was envisaging. Now this link doesn't look good in blue. Top nav. Yes, no, that. Yeah. So now I want this to be contacting the top and left of the screen. So how do I do that? Position fixed. Top 0. Yeah, that's it. Left 0. Yeah. I'd like a little white boundary on the photo image, so let's put that border 1px solid white 3. Yeah, it's alright. The link needs some underlining when I hover. That'll do. I'm reasonably happy with that for a start. Might make the grey a touch lighter. Quite like that actually. Maybe the colour's better as black in this case. Yeah, let's do that. So just a touch lighter, and then we'll have to keep the text as black. This will do me. Quite happy with that. Let's make it a little bit less. Could do with it being a little less fat actually. So I can change my photo to be, let's say, 80. I could I want it to be centered really. So what's this this margin on the bottom? We don't need that. That's, yeah. I think this will do for now. So now let's move on to so I'm going to deploy this now, make sure that's all working, and then we're going to get some posts going. So let's deploy all these changes. Add navbar. Now for the moment, I'm still going to need to run this subtree command. I don't have access to it there. Yeah, I'd like to be able to automate that. Right, so this should update in a minute or so. In the meantime, what to progress with next? I think a basic post rendering system. So we need an example post. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have a folder in the repository. Is it going to be under source? I would like it in the top, and we're going to call it posts. And in here I'm going to have my posts written as Markdown files. So I'm going to have a title. This is a test post, and fleas have dogs. Some text. It's awful. It's awful writing. Alright, so the next thing will be to pull in each post from this directory in the JavaScript code and then render that into the content container of the HTML file. So I'm going to create that content container. We'll have a div called content. Let's just test it by putting test in there, and now we should see that somewhere. So it's up here. I don't want it up there. I want it falling always below the navigation bar. So how do am I going to have to manually set that position, or I suppose so. Let's just look what Wing CSS does. Maybe because I've done it position fixed, that removes the the automatic layout functionality that I want. Let's just test that by removing these. Yeah, so this is, how can I make it touch the top and sides without, what about just top 0? Make navbar touch top. Let's see. Well, do I have any margin on my main body? I should inspect that. So, if I open up my dev tools, I can see that they're if I remove all of the if I remove wing CSS, let's say, will it touch the top? No. So yeah, it's kind of annoying. So let's try this sort of position relative solution. So position relative, what happens there? Yeah, nothing changes. Maybe on the body I need to put padding 0. CSS for you. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking, eventually just have a minus. Well, if I know the height of the navbar, then I can always just position this. Look, I'm having it as yeah, let's just for now do this. Position fixed. And the content container is going to have a margin top of something like that. Okay. So now to render, now to pull in and render these posts. So I suppose, yeah, so Vite gives us the ability to import raw content from files. So right now I think the easiest thing to do is going to be import, say, test post from posts test. Let's log it so that we can see that we've, okay, so it's not finding it. So I'm in source and I've currently got it outside of source, so I need to go like that. But it may not have access to that location. I thought this might be the case. So if I put posts back into source and do this, in fact I've missed out a vital element here, raw. Okay, so that's working. Now what about if I move it back out? Yeah, I think that's working. So now we're just going to simply render that content into a content container. So I've got content container is found like this, and now we'll do that. So there's my content. So that's all, that pipeline is working, bringing that data in. But we want to now render it. So this has got to be a title, formatted like a heading, and we've got to have line breaks between there, normal Markdown formatting stuff. So there is a library, Markdown to HTML, npm. HTML to Markdown, that's not the way round I want. Markdown to HTML, npm. I think it's called Showdown. Markdown to HTML. What about Showdown, npm? Bidirectional Markdown to HTML to Markdown. Sounds more complicated than I'd need, but this has been updated much more recently. I don't see why not. Well, let's try it. Alright, let's do it. So, install the package, and then in my JavaScript file I'm gonna post this. Actually, it's going to be import Showdown from Showdown. I believe that will work. Ah, yes, I'm just going to run this. Get the type information. Looks good. And now, yeah, create a converter like this. And now I'm going to create an object which maps my... No, I don't need to do that, do I? I'm just going to make a list of my posts. So posts, test post, and then my post HTML is a map of that posts list to the converted list, and then I can join them, and now we should have rendered Markdown. Oh, I'm not currently hosting. Here we go. this is it. That is as expected. Pretty happy with this. So now I can write Markdown posts and render them. So right now these are all, they would just appear in a list with full articles, but I think what I want is to have little preview, article previews, and then you click on the article and then you just see that full article in its own page. And that is pretty much all the functionality I want. So I think I'm going to create another test post. Let's create two test posts, two test posts with full lorem ipsum, and what I really want is Markdown lorem ipsum. That'd be cool. Copy. So we'll have lorem ipsum delore, and we'll have test 2, which will be like that. So now what do we see on the page? So that's just the first post. I need to import. So the thing about this system is that I currently need to import each test separately. The thing is, seeing as this JavaScript is being run in the browser, I don't have really access to the file system in a way that allows me to iterate through a directory. However, I wonder if I were to make these, if I put these in the public folder, then I could, because then they would each be accessible via a URL. So actually, that's probably the way to do it. I could put posts in public, and then theoretically, each post is available at yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Is that actually going to be any different? I'm still going to have a list of the files that I'm going to pull in. The only thing that would be a big improvement would be to just have everything in the posts folder rendered. I could have well, you can do that, can't you? You can you get a list of everything that's under a certain sub URL? List all URLs under sub URL. Get sub URLs from a main URL. Hidden pages, eh? Let's just deal with this error. Put it in public now, so. So I doubt this will work, but hidden pages. What about on the... Surprised that this hasn't updated yet, so I'm going to have to look into that. Why isn't my page updated? Is it because I've been messing around with the actions? So if I go to actions, well no, I go to settings, pages. Oh, it's because I added the, it's because I removed the distribution folder from the git ignore, because I was gonna get the actions to build it and get that working. So yeah, I will get that working because it'll be good. So for now, let's just focus on it locally. Going to finish up the post-related functionality and design, and then we'll get to deployment automation later. So what I'm asking, is there a way I can iterate through the posts directory? Rather iterate through the URLs which that creates. So the fact that they're there now should mean that if I go to my page here, then if I go to posts, or yes, exactly. So I can access that via a URL. So this is fine. But how do I discover everything? I'm not sure I can. So if that's the case, then for my blog, what I'm going to have to do is every time I create a new post, I'm also going to have to add it to the list of posts that I want to show. Or I just get this dynamic import. So dynamic import. Can't believe I didn't think of this before. No, it's the same. Alright, it's unavoidable for now. Well, how would I make it so that sub URLs are listed? Let's get back to that research thread. List assets in public folder. JS. Well, let's see what Vite has. I mean, this is where I got the importing a static asset like this, but I'm not sure there's going to be anything cleverer. Vite, iterate through public. That's a loop through a folder. Require context, eh? Well, I'll have a look. This is what I want. I want to be able to get all matching modules starting from the base directory. But do I have access to it in the code that's running here in the browser? So let's just see if CodePilot will suggest anything useful here. So list of files in post directory. I don't think that was going to do anything, but I'll test it. That's strange. Okay. Yeah. Can only be referenced via HTML tags. Okay. Well, it's not too big of an ask to, every time I write a post, add it to the list of posts that I want to show. but I'm not quite ready to give up. So, what thread was I on a moment ago? Require context. Use require dot context. So I don't have require because this is browser. The code that's going to be running in the browser. So I know I can npm install a require package so that I will have this, but then will that play nice? Require in the browser, JS. Require JS npm. It seems worth a try. Let's try it. So, I'm not overly hopeful about this approach. Right. It's not a module. Yeah, I'm not sure I've got the right end of the stick here. Import require JS node. Browser. Yeah, if I don't come up with some solution here, then I'm gonna not waste any more time on it. No, I don't think this is worth delving in anymore. these complexities, I'm just going to have a list of, I'm just going to import the posts I want to show. It's going to be barely any work. So I have my list of posts, like that, and I want to join them by a horizontal rule. Probably some line breaks as well, but we'll get to that. Fail to import, so then I'm not going to put them in the public folder then. Go. So from source, going out into posts. I see. There we go. So this is looking pretty good. Now I just want to have the heading's going to be a link to view the article, or we're going to have a button to read it all, and then that's where it's going to go to view that article. So we're going to have a post preview and a post container. I'm going to make the width smaller as well. This is going to be something I'm going to make dependent on the screen size, but for now, like that. And so we'll have full posts, post with a preview, so the preview is going to say a preview limit. That's going to be the character limit. Post, so the preview is the post, substring, plus dot dot dot, and then in the content container, which actually we're going to call that the let's have content container for now. The post preview, a bit more than that, so 500. That looks good. So now we'll have that heading as a link. So add links to post preview headings. So I think what I'll do is preview post elements. We're going to create a HTML element for each of those. and get rid of that little test string up there. So now for each of those I'm going to query for the first heading, and I can do that in here. So I'm going to select for the first heading 1. And change it to a link. There we go. Now I'm just going to change the style, so we'll add a class. Heading link. A.heading. Actually, we'll just have a.heading, and it's going to be black, and then again black with an underline. So this is going to be a link class heading. There we go. That's how you're going to go to them. And so I'm going to need a little router here so that I can click on them and then go to. Alternatively, I could have. No, I will, because I want to be able to link to a URL, which is that post. So. Yeah. Might put Nick Morley's blog up here as well. Can I have two? Yeah. Just needs some margin on it. Let's make the colour, I suppose, black for now. Yeah, it's looking alright. I'll move this CSS out of here at some point. But yeah, I'll be happy with that. So, time to add this little router, I think. Well, what's the simplest thing I can do? In here, I'm going to. So I've made a router in JavaScript before. I'm just thinking about what the simplest thing I can do here is without. Maybe I will. I create a router class, and I'm gonna open up another project I'm working on and just copy that in. Router, that's how that works, and the way I'm using that is in my main. importing it. And then I'm using it like this. Alright. So I think that will be all we need from that, so I'm going to close that. Just looking on my video feed here, it looks like it's gone all grey. Not sure what that's about. Oh, it looks better now. Okay, so I'm gonna have so if I have that as test, this is where we are going to map the post URLs. I want it to be an object like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So at the root URL, then we're going to render the preview posts, and otherwise we'll render the full post. So let's just look at this. So then if you go to the URL post / say 1 to, or the, well, it's going to be the name, then yes. Okay, I see how I'm expecting this to work. So go here, then if I go to test, oh no, it needs to be posts test, or is it post test? So let me just do a console log to make sure that this is behaving as so. If I post / something, no, not sure about this. Let's post, yeah, and then some regex. Ah, I know why. It's because this root is registering first. So let's go back to what we had before. Still not working here. So this is the regex that I want. Maybe it's something to do with the base URL. Yes, it will be. Okay. Okay, so can I get that base URL from Vite? See if this is right. If not, I'll look at the documentation. No. So Vite get base URL. Import. So I can import from config. That's no, they have their own config file. Vite, how import config? The environment variable, that's what I want. So let me I don't want to have to hard code this, but for now I might just have to in order to progress. We can get to everything else later, so. So this root is registering. Otherwise we wouldn't have anything. So what about post? What about personal blog.post? Oh, it's because there's a bloody hyphen there. No, that's still not a thing. This is a mystery. Personal blob. Okay, let's open the router. No, in fact, I do want all of those hashes. Hey. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay. We're back on track. Well, so the where are we? So that's fine. Okay, now we're on track. There we go. Right. Let me get this colour of grey. Oh, unfortunately, I need it to not be. To get back to that tasteful colour. That's about right, isn't it? Maybe the tiniest smidge up. Okay, right, so now the home link goes there, and this is where the header link goes. Cons URL. Let's try that. There we go, look at that. Only thing is, it's not rendering the right. Yes, because I sort of hard coded that, of course. So. Heading name is what we want. What I could have is the name of the post in the front matter and the URL as well. So how do you do the front matter like that? Test URL. Let's just have the name. The URL is going to be the name. So now we're going to for each. Pass front matter. Post list. This is going to be the posts, and it's going to be like that. And this is going to be the posts list posts.name equals post, and then now. So this is now I'll just have an object of posts, and this is going to be an any, and No, it won't. It'll be like name equals string, and then the markdown equals string, preview, and then the full HTML. That's my post. Let's find that as a type. So post. Yeah. Name. It's going to match to post object. This can all be on one line. And now for each post in the post list, we're going to do a couple of functions here. Well, no, we don't really need to. Preview HTML is just going to be, we'll make that here as well. Put the preview limit up there. Preview HTML is going to be that. Cool. Now we can get rid of this. So I want to add the URL to the preview HTML. I could call the preview HTML div element. Same with that. And then okay. Maybe I'll call that the article. Yeah. And now we'll add the some kind of error here. Well, let's say we'll always have front matter, so yeah, so if not front matter, then throw a numeric. Yeah, there we go. So I can have a function parse front matter yeah. Well, we'll call that metadata, or just data. I'll call it metadata. We're getting there. Now we're going to add the links. So add preview heading link. Preview is we're going to add the whole post actually. So the heading is actually, we're going to do the post.name. So that will add the heading link. So we can get rid of that. Okay. Okay, let's see how we're standing here. Some errors to deal with. So my front matter is not valid JSON. So I should see that area, front matter is not valid JSON. Front matter, yeah, let's have that. A name.test is not valid JSON. No, it should be YAML. So npm YAML. Import parse from YAML. Well, Okay, let's try that. No front matter found. That's strange. Ah, it's because we don't have any front matter for the second article. So that error was correct. It'd be nice if it said which post. So yeah. I think we're getting there. I want to remove this front matter from it though. So remove front matter from post. I see. Maybe that's not the place to put it then. So in here you want to strip front matter. It's going to return it. So front matter, strip front matter, and then this is just going to take the So, how are we standing after that? Let's have a look. So that's more than the front matter. Oh, I see. It's more like, let's just have a front matter regex, and then we'll have a strip like that, and then the pars will take the post string. And so it will be parse the front matter and then strip the front matter. Okay, so now we have previews, and then I can click on them and go to the article. That's great. Getting a bit of flickeriness on the loading of the page, and that's because I'm importing the style sheet in the JavaScript, so I'm going to import that. Into the HTML, that should go away, and it has. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. We've got what we wanted there. And I think that's a good time to wrap up. So, build a little blog. I'm going to continue working on deploying it. And then I'm going to actually write some stuff. So, until next time.